Time having arrived, I call the regularly scheduled meeting of the Brockton City Council to order. Will you all please stand and join me in saluting the flag? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilors, I received a communication from Councilor Farwell. He is unable to attend. He is at home under the weather. Mr. Clerk.
Item number 1, acceptance of the minutes of the November 22, 2022 special city council meeting.
Accepted and placed on file.
Number 2, acceptance of the minutes of the November 28, 2022 city council meeting.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a hearing that the city council confirms the decision by Mayor Sullivan revoking the appointment of Marceline Ulisse of Brockton, Mass. as a constable in the city of Brockton. In city clerk's office, November 10th, 2022. Postponed from city council meeting November 28, 22. Hearing assigned for December 12th, 2022. All paperwork is on file. Mr. President, however, the law department and Ms. Ulisse's lawyers have made an agreement and would ask for a postponement until the first meeting in January.
Councilors, is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion's been properly made and seconded to postpone. All in favor? All opposed? The motion passes.
Item number 4, petition of Holistic Concepts, Inc., license change of 49% ownership on a retail marijuana license located at 1915 Main Street, Brockton, Mass., approved by the License Commission on November 17, 2022, pending approval of the Brockton City Council and the CCC. Postponed from City Council meeting November 28, 2022. In City Clerk's office November 22, 2022. Postponed from that meeting on November 28, 2022. Hearing assigned for December 12, 2022. All paperwork is on file, and we have received an additional letter that the CCC has approved the change of ownership of 49%.
All right. Time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Is there anyone here in favor? If so, please come up and give your name and address to the council.
Thank you. Attorney Scott Rubin, 71 Legion Parkway, 3rd floor, Brockton, Mass. And Sam?
Sam Arustamian, 40 Chilton Road, Brockton, Mass.
Anything for the councilors? Or?
Sure. Have a short presentation. Again, we were here at the last meeting on the question of whether or not this petition was going to require an actual public hearing. I guess after deliberation with City Solicitor's Office and Legislative Council, I guess we determined, or it was determined, that a hearing was necessary. So to remind councilors, we're here requesting a 49% change of ownership in Holistic Concepts, Inc. This project was in need of really some financial and administrative injection in order to get this property and this business viable and open. It's been a little while for this particular business, so they were able to come to an agreement with Sammy. Sammy's been in the city for many years and is confident that his financial and business knowledge will assist this business in getting open, built, and successful, hopefully in the near future. As the council president mentioned, this and the clerk, we were approved by the License Commission back in November. This petition hasn't changed. The CCC approved this petition at its last open meeting, I believe it was December 7th. We got a correspondence dated December 8th with no conditions of any kind. So the CCC, just so the council is aware, does a complete background check, does a criminal background check. They investigate the nature and circumstances of the transfer. There were no questions or concerns by the commission. He's fingerprinted as well as all other owners of businesses that have more than 10% interest. So his background was completely vetted by the commission and, again, was approved without any reservations. And with that, we would ask that the board, that the council approve this petition.
Thank you. Do you mind if we go through the favor and opposition? And we'll have questions from the councilors.
Okay.
Anyone else here in favor? Seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Is there anyone here in opposition? Seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Long week. All right, questions from the councilors. Councilor Rodriguez, followed by Councilor Nicastro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mine is pretty quick. It's just, once approved, when do you foresee this business opening?
So the plans have been, I believe, are completed, waiting on final architectural construction drawings. So then it's going to be really up to the city to get us a building permit. There is a further CCC approval process for that architectural review. Once that's completed, we'd be able to go ahead and start construction. Those things have been taking, just getting through the CCC at the next level has taken 2 to 3 weeks. And construction, we expect to be, depending on supply chain, quite frankly, anywhere from, I want to say 100 to 140 days or so to get it completed. And then, unfortunately, we still have to go through another inspection process through the CCC, and that can take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. So it's still going to take a little while to get a project like this completed. Even if we do everything right, we still have to wait for, essentially, the city as well has to do inspectional services, provide an occupancy certificate. So it's our expectation that that probably would take upwards of 6 months, potentially, to get the actual green light. The very end of the process, Counselor, is we get approval on a final inspection from the CCC, and then we just wait for them to give us the authority to open, and they typically they won't tell us when that'll happen. It's signed by the executive director, and we've had that happen in a very short period of time, 3 days, and we've waited 2 to 3 weeks for that piece of paper to come. So, but overall, we expect to be hopefully open for business within 6 months, which would be June.
So given all the licensing and the permissions and stuff like that, you guys are ready to go, basically?
Yeah, we just need the plans to be, architectural drawings and construction drawings to be completed. We got to finalize the contractor, which we have, and then, everything else is basically municipal red tape and state red tape, quite frankly. It just takes some time to wind through that process.
All right, well, thank you and best of luck. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Nicastro, followed
you.
by Councilor D'Agostino.
Good evening, gentlemen. As we discussed 2 weeks ago, this business will be located in Ward 4. This is the only marijuana retail store that will be located in Ward 4. And so I've paid pretty close attention to it. I've spoken with David Asak from time to time. The tape from our original approval of the license was reviewed, and we were assured that that financially it wouldn't be a problem and it would go forward. Now, I know that in business, as in life, things change.
Right.
And so I am anxious to see this move forward. I appreciate you, Sam, and your investing in this business. I know that you represent Sam, Mr. Attorney Rubin, and so I just want to say 6 months would be swell. Please.
We would love it.
Please get it done, and please do it well.
We would love it.
I think it's a great location, close to the border of the city on Main Street, and I look forward to it opening and to it being completed. It's been a long slog these last couple of years, for whatever reason.
We agree.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor D'Agostino.
Actually, my colleagues have asked all of my questions, and you gave the satisfactory answers I was looking for, so I'm all set. Thank you.
Very efficient, Councilor. Thank you. Councilors, if there are no other questions, the question comes on granting. That is by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
D'Agostino,
Yes.
Lally,
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Nicastro,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Tavares,
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
8 in the affirmative, 0 in opposition.
Is granted.
Mr. President.
Oh,
I make a
Councilor
motion for
Nicastro.
reconsideration in hopes that it fails.
Second.
Motion for reconsideration has been properly made and seconded. All in favor of reconsideration? All opposed? Reconsideration fails.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good luck.
Very much. Thank you.
We have the report of the ordinance meeting for its, ordinance committee for its meeting of December 1st, 2022.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the mayor informing the city council that Porita Das is stepping down from the planning board effective December 2nd, 2022.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the DPW engineering superintendent requesting layout and acceptance of the following street as outlined in the draft council orders. Oscar Ave to Sprague Ave, westerly.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the DPW engineering superintendent requesting layout and acceptance of the following street as outlined in the council order. Bud Ave to Sheridan Street.
Accepted and placed on file.
Unfinished business. We have an ordinance establishing a Human Rights Commission in the city of Brockton. It is the preamble. It is the policy of the city to assure that every individual shall have equal access to and benefit from all public services, to protect every individual in the enjoyment and exercise of civil rights, and to encourage and bring about mutual understanding and respect among all individuals of the city. It is the goal of the Human Rights Commission to ensure that all city residents are treated fairly and equally by eliminating bigotry, discrimination, intolerance, and prejudice. Membership. The Human Rights Commission shall consist of 7 members, all of whom shall be residents of the city during their term of appointment. The mayor shall appoint, subject to confirmation by the city council, persons to serve for a period of 3 years or until a successor is appointed and qualified. The mayor shall designate a chairperson to preside at meetings of the commission. Duties and responsibilities. The Human Rights Commission shall have as its principal responsibilities, 1, to ensure that all city residents are treated fairly and equally by constantly striving to eliminate bigotry, discrimination, intolerance, and prejudice. 2, to facilitate the exchange of information to residents in the areas of education, employment, economic and business development, and city services. 3, to foster enhanced partnerships between public safety departments and residents. 4, to recommend to the mayor and city council programs and services which enhance the quality of life for all residents. 5, to publish information accessible by the city's diverse communities regarding city, federal, and state grants and programs which contribute to the health, safety, and economic stability of our residents. 6, to network with community-based organizations with the goal of sharing information, awareness of city services and programs, and economic assistance to residents. 7, the commission shall submit in February of each year to the city council an annual report detailing its activities for the prior calendar year and stating its policy, recommendations, and legislative recommendations to all departments, divisions, and agencies of the city, including the mayor and the city council. This ordinance shall take effect 90 days after the approval to allow for appointment and confirmation of members of the commission. In City Council, August 22, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable, with a further hope to refer this matter to the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Commission.
Councilor Azak.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, as Chair of Ordinance, we've reviewed this ordinance proposal the last meeting, and we felt as a committee that it would be best to go before the City Council Subcommittee on Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. That way it could be reviewed through them instead of an ordinance change. So that's why this is before us this evening. So I believe we need a motion. So I will make a motion to send this to the City Council Subcommittee on Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded to refer this to the City Council's Committee on Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. All those in favor? All those opposed? The item is referred.
Number 10, ordinance. An ordinance amending Part 2 of the revised ordinances, Chapter 21, taxi cabs, buses, etc. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton, Section 21-7, rates and charges, shall be amended in subsection 1 by striking the words $2 and inserting in its place $3.60, and by striking the words 35 cents and inserting in its place 40 cents. Be it further amended in subsection 2 by striking the words 35 cents and inserting in its place 40 cents. Be it further amended that Section 21-15, safety shields, shall be deleted in its entirety. In City Council, October 11th, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable.
Question is on passage to a third reading by hand vote. All in favor? All opposed? The item is passed. Back to ordinance.
Mr. President,
Councilor Azak.
I move for reconsideration in hopes it does not prevail.
We don't need that on this.
We don't need it?
Thank you. Ordinance number 11, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton as follows, that the City Council adopt the following amendment to Chapter 2 of the revised ordinances, Article 4, Section 2-260, Senior Citizen Tax Work-Off Program, as follows. Subsection 2-260H/1 shall be deleted in its entirety to eliminate income limitations for applicants.
Referred to ordinance.
Number 12, ordinance, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton, excuse me, as follows, that the City Council adopt the following amendment to Chapter 2 of the revised ordinances, Article 4, Section 2-261, Veterans Property Tax Work-Off Program as follows. Section 2-261I/1 shall be deleted in its entirety to eliminate income limitation for applicants.
Referred to ordinance.
Ordered that the common necessity and convenience of the inhabitants of the City of Brockton require the laying out and acceptance of Oscar Avenue extending from Sprague Ave westerly 1,225 feet more or less, and for that purpose it is necessary to take an easement for highway purposes and lay out as a public street or way of said City of Brockton, said easement passing by or over lands of those persons shown on Exhibit A herein attached. The land is more fully described as follows. All the land within the limits of a private way known as Oscar Avenue, supposed to belong to parties unknown, being a strip of land 50 feet in width, extending from Sprague Ave westerly, a distance of about 1,225 feet, more or less, shown in the attached plans. And we have considered and estimated the damages sustained by all persons who have not waived damages in their several estates as follows. No awards. Exhibit A, layout and acceptance, and all other attachments are all located in the clerk's office for viewing.
That is referred to the Finance Committee and the Planning Board.
Item 14, that the common necessity and convenience of the inhabitants of the City of Brockton require the laying out and acceptance of Bud Ave, extending from Sheridan Street easterly, 1,166.67 feet, more or less, to Adams Street, and for that purpose it is necessary to take an easement for highway purposes and lay out as a public street or way of said City of Brockton, said easement passing by or over lands of those persons shown on Exhibit A attached. And we have considered and estimated the damages sustained by all persons who have not waived damages in their several estates as following. No awards. Exhibit A, layout and acceptance, and all other attachments are all located in the clerk's office for viewing.
That is referred to the Finance Committee and the Planning Board.
Item 15, ordered in accordance with the Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 41C, the City Council votes to increase the value of the residential tax exemption from $750 to $1,000 for eligible seniors who meet specific ownership, residency, income, and asset requirements. Further, the City Council votes to accept the local option to increase gross receipts limits and the whole estate limit annually by the percentage increase in the Consumer Price Index determined by the Department of Revenue each year. This order shall be effective for any fiscal year beginning on or after July 1st, 2023.
That is referred to Finance.
Item 16, the City Council votes to adopt and accept provisions of the BRAVE Act, specifically the 5th paragraph of Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clauses 22G and 22H as follows. Section 5, the following property shall be exempt from taxation, and the date of determination as to age, ownership, and other qualifying factors required by any clause shall be July 1st of each year, unless another meaning is clearly apparent from the context. Provided, however, that any person who receives an exemption pursuant to Clause 17th, 17th C, 17th C and a half, 17th D, 22nd, 22nd A, 22nd B, 22nd C, 22nd D, 22nd E, 22nd F, 22nd G, 37th, 37th A, 41st, 41st B, 41st C, 41st C and a half, 42nd, 43rd, 56th, or 57th shall not receive an exemption on the same property pursuant to any other provision of this section, except clauses 18th or 45th. 22nd G, in any city or town that accepts this clause, real estate that is the domicile of a person but is owned by a trustee, conservator, or other fiduciary for the person's benefit, if the real estate would be eligible for exemption under Clause 22nd, 22nd A, 22nd B, 22nd C, 22nd D, 22nd E, or 22nd F, if the person were the owner of real estate. 22nd H, real estate to the full amount of the taxable valuation of real property of the surviving parents or guardians of soldiers and sailors, members of the National Guard, and veterans who, 1, during active duty service, suffered an injury or illness documented by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs or a branch of the armed forces that was approximate cause of their death, or 2, are missing in action with a presumptive finding of death as a result of active duty service as members of the armed forces of the United States, provided, however, that the real estate shall be occupied by the surviving parents or guardians as a surviving parents or guardians domicile, and provided further that the surviving parents or guardians shall have been domiciled in the Commonwealth for the 5 consecutive years immediately before the date of the filing for an exemption pursuant to this clause, or the soldier or sailor, member of the National Guard or veteran was domiciled in the Commonwealth for not less than 6 months before entering service. Surviving parents or guardians eligible for an exemption pursuant to this clause shall be eligible regardless of when the soldier, sailor, member of the National Guard, or veteran died or became missing in action with a presumptive finding of death, provided, however, that the exemption shall be only applied to tax years beginning on or after January 1st, 2019. Such exemption shall be available until such time as the surviving parents or guardians are deceased. No real estate shall be so exempt which has been conveyed to the surviving parents or guardians to evade taxation. This clause shall take effect upon its acceptance by any city or town. This order shall be effective for any fiscal year beginning on or after July 1st, 2023.
That is referred to Finance. Councilors, we have reached the end of our agenda. Are there any moments of councilors' recognition? Councilor D'Agostino.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a reminder that I'll be having an award meeting this Wednesday at 6 o'clock at the South Middle School cafeteria. And for who we have coming, I'll have a representative of the Police Department, DPW, Mayor's Office, Council on Aging, there to present information and hear from constituents. And any councilors who wish to join, of course, are invited as well. So again, 6 o'clock, South Middle School, this coming Wednesday, the 14th. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Nicastro.
Thank you. This past Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the students of the Brockton High School Drama Department presented a terrific play in the little theater called Murder In. And I want to congratulate everyone that worked on that play, both the people who acted, all of the people who created the beautiful sets and supportive personnel, as well as Mr. Hogan, Ms. Thomas, and Mrs. Kelly. It was a terrific, terrific show. I loved it. I guess it was a sellout audience every night. I saw it last night. Kudos to all of the drama department members. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Seeing nothing else, I'll just give one quick reminder. We have the Finance Committee on Monday the 19th, and then in recognition of Christmas, we will have our last council meeting of the year on the 27th. With nothing else, we are adjourned.